I love it. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it to Melinda. Then we're going to bring up Claudia. She's ready?
Yes, and if you want to follow Dr. Tina D. Lewis, go to our social media. So this at the rate Tina Lewis on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Yes.
So you
yes,
will
yes.
see.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Bye.
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 Okay, are y'all ready for me?
So yes, Claudia. So we will play your introduction video. So later you can join the presentation. Okay.
Say that again.
So we will play your introduction audio. Okay, you can
Okay.
see the video, and so after that you can start the speaker presentation. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Minister Claudia Elliott is the founder and executive director of New Beginning Healthcare Program for transitioning homeless men, women, and their children. We are also a licensed home care agency providing personal care services to disabled individuals. Minister Elliott is the author of Breaking the Curse, co-author of Soul Drives, and co-author of Esther's Royal Code. Amazon bestseller. She is also the owner of Giordine's Closet. Minister Elliott is also a gospel recording artist. She is married to Minister George Elliott and resides in North Carolina with their children.
So yes, Claudia. So
Okay.
you will do your presentation. So how are you doing today? We are in Dubai. Are you excited?
I am so excited. I am so excited. I could hardly wait. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share you know, about the rebooting process. It was so amazing that she was talking about the six figures and putting a book together. I think that's awesome. So the rebooting process it has something to do with what I had to do to get to that point. So it's basically, starting over. I had to be willing to start things over and come up with a strategy, um, steps to try to figure things out. Why were my careers failing? Why did my relationships fail? Why did I have things that kept repeating itself over and over again? So I had to do some researching. Um, I am a woman of faith, so I had to do a lot of praying for guidance on what I could do to get my life on track. I knew that I was um, created to be a successful businesswoman. I knew I was created to be a wealthy woman, but I had to figure out what I was doing wrong. So I had to restart. So that gave me the topic of the rebooting process, meaning I had to start everything over again. I moved out of $1 million home into a 3-bedroom apartment. That was a process that I had to go through. So I ended up giving away all of my furniture because I could no longer um, fit all of the things that I had into this larger home into a 3-bedroom apartment. So I was willing to do whatever it took to get to where I'm at today. So I asked the question, how many are willing to restart? How many are willing to trust the process that you have to go through to get to what she was talking about, six figures or 6, 7, 8, or 9 figures? How many are willing to trust that process, start over the rebooting process? So I had to go through those things to get where I am today. I went through things where I was at a crossroad in my life. Again, I had a job. As I mentioned, I was in the 3-bedroom apartment. I had, a car. I felt like, okay, my life is finally trying to get where I wanted to be. But it just didn't happen like that. There was still a process that I had to go through with. So in this process, again, I was taking notes, writing down things, still with my vision of what I wanted to do, of what I thought I should be doing, which was buying houses, putting people in the houses, becoming, an employer to employ and write checks, to employees. But there was still a process, there was still something missing. So I began again this journey of searching of what I should do to get in the right place. And so I found myself crying. I knew that there had to be something better for me. I just completely stopped everything. I just said I have to start over again. And then that again was a cycle of repeating things over and over again. So I felt like I was going through those things because I kept failing the test um, of what I supposed to be doing. So I'm thinking now, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? So again, my prayer life became stronger. I started praying, just seeking guidance, still learning from my mistakes and still trusting this process of me starting everything over again. At that point, I had a job working for the government. So I felt like I was again on the right track. Okay, I'm doing good, but still I'm working for someone else. My desire was to work for myself. I felt like I was created to be a businesswoman, a wealthy businesswoman, a successful businesswoman. So what am I doing clocking in at 6 a.m. working on a job, 12-hour shifts for someone else? So then that failed. Okay, again, what am I doing wrong? What I was doing wrong is I was not doing what I should have been doing, which was working for myself with the ideas that I had on paper. I had to have faith to start those things and believe in myself. So that was one thing that I was not doing right. So I encourage everyone watching in your homes, wherever you are, don't be afraid of change. Sometimes changing um, could change your status financially. So you're going to want to make those changes. And that's what I did. I started with one house and then that turned into two houses. That turned into maybe, I guess, maybe about 18 or 20 now. So it started with that, which I wasn't even thinking at that time, but I was building wealth. Also, in that process of me buying those houses and finding my rightful place for what I was created to be, again, this successful businesswoman, I was learning from the rebooting process. So I started writing and I was able to write a book, and the book was titled Breaking the Curse because I felt like the repeated cycles that I was going through was almost like it was a curse. So I said, let's just break this cycle of repeating things, of failed marriages, of failed relationships, or failed careers. Let's stop all of this. So I wrote the book, got the book published, selling on Amazon. So then, I went ahead and I was writing. So that was something else that was part of my success. I had a book inside of me. So I started writing and talking about that process that I went through. Why was these things failing? What was I doing wrong? So again, I encourage, people that are looking to step back sometimes and analyze the situation, come up with a strategy, start over again if you have to. It's okay. I did it. And once I did it the right way, that I felt was the right way, just putting everything together. I am the co-author of Soul Cries, and I talked about how I went from taking $60 and building $1 million company. I talked about that in that book, and I stopped considering myself a victim of all of those things that I failed in and turned it into victory. So when I stopped considering myself as a victim, I started winning in every area of my life. So I was creating those cycles of failures, failed careers, failed everything. So because of the way I was thinking. So once my mind changed, everything changed. So, that business now, I've been in business for 10 years for myself, and had not worked for anybody else. I have about 60 employees now. I have houses in several counties, several contracts, just from me stepping back, creating a strategy, the whole rebooting process. I moved into a smaller home. I did whatever it takes. So, we're talking about the 6 figures. That is awesome. Because I was just, amazed at how it went from $60 to start this business, believing in myself, changing my mind, stepping back from a few things. And I'm just amazed at what that turned into. So, I encourage each and every one of you, believe in yourself. I know there are some millionaires on here watching. Believe in yourself. I have so many ideas right now that I'm putting it on paper, and I'm just amazed, that I will be doing more. I'm excited about buying more houses, buying more, properties, put more people in them. As I stated, I own transitional housing. I get referrals from the government, hospitals. So I deal with the homeless population. I also deal with men and women in recovery. So it's considered the hard to house. I have a second chance employer. So I'm able to employ those that others consider as hard to employ. And I just took all of this, put it on paper, and stepped back from some things, and it has became successful now. So that was all part of the rebooting process. I have a chapter in Queen Esther anthology, and it is called The Rebooting Process. So it goes into more details on some of the things that I did, some of the strategies that I came up with to, again, take that $60 that I went and filed this paperwork with. And one thing led to another. I just started bidding on properties. Never in a million years did I think as big as it actually, turned out to be, and it's getting bigger. But again, my mindset had to change. I had to step back, trust the process. No matter what the situation looked like, I had to trust the process and believe in myself. So I stopped from going to another person's job, filling out applications when I had a notebook with $1 million business plan in it. But I walked around for years with those ideas, with notebooks, with paperwork, with my research, working for someone else. But whenever I stopped, again, just started all over again. What am I doing wrong? I know that there are things that I should be doing that's greater than coming in here, clocking in at 6 a.m. There has to be something more to what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to be doing. So everything changed. Everything changed. Everything changed. So I'm in the process now of writing more books because even on this journey, I'm still learning. So I can share with others on what I did and, how I started over and stepped back, and then I came back even stronger. So I encourage people, don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to, get as I say, an inexpensive car. Get something that you can pay for. If you can bid on something and pay cash for it, pay cash for it. Most of the houses that I have, I bid on them houses. And, I went in first. My mind had to change because I started out thinking that I had to have a bank. I had to have all of this money. That wasn't true. I just went in at the right time, made the right offer. Everything worked out in my favor. But I believed in myself. I believed in myself. I'm a woman of faith again. And it all just worked out. And that $60 turned into $1 million business. And it seemed like it happened overnight. I'm still just so amazed. So I'm writing things down. I get calls all the time. How do you do it? I became a certified life coach. So I'm able to speak on, and give instructions on how I did it. It happened so fast, I almost didn't even remember how I did it, to be honest with you. But it was just so amazing. It was just so, so amazing. And again, if you're watching, if you have a business idea that you think, may not even be worth you putting it together, if you think about it, put it together and try it out. Try it out. I'm learning every day. I'm still learning with what I'm doing, with the things that I do and the next move that I should make and a better move that I should make. So I'm still learning every day, but never give up on your vision, on your dream. And if you have to start over, then start it over again. Whatever you have to do to reach the top, to be successful, to get where you are trying to get, it's okay to reboot, restart, revive. I needed that. After all those failures, it was hard. It was so hard. It was so hard because at one time, I didn't know. Once everything lined up in my life, I was able to meet and connect with my spouse, my husband, which was a businessman. So he helped me with all the ideas that I had on paper. Again, I had $1 million ideas on paper working for someone else. And it was just so amazing. And what he did is, he talked to me and he helped me take it to the next level. And there were still some challenges then, even with that. But still, I never gave up. I did what it took. I moved out of that house that was near a mansion for a woman that didn't have no kids, just living in, all that space, because I do love a lot of space, but I was living in all of that space. I stepped back from that so I can invest in myself. So now I got, a little bit of room to move around. and do the things that I wanted to do. I wanted to do things for other people without having to ask for donations. Now, it's nothing wrong if that's what you desire to do, but I just wanted to just get out here. I believed in myself. I can do it. I can do this. So I encourage each and every one of you, whatever your dream is, whatever your vision is, do whatever it takes. For me, it was starting over. For me, I call it the rebooting process. And in my chapter on the rebooting process, you will read, if you get the book, you will read about it, where I had one fork, one spoon, one knife, one glass. Those were things that I got from my mom. Everything that was in that house that I had, from that situation, I gave it away. Because now what am I going to do with all of this furniture? I know that sounds crazy, but it worked for me. It worked for me. So I was able to just start it over, change the way I was thinking, change everything. Believe in myself. Remember that I'm a woman of faith and prayer works. And that's what I did. And that's what worked for me. The rebooting process, it will work. It will work. So you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. And you will go not just to six figures, but you will go above the six figures if you believe in yourself. I'm truly amazed. I'm truly amazed right now. Now, do y'all have any questions for me?
Thank you so much, Claudia, for your enlightening speech. So yes, life has second chances. So yeah, if
Okay.
yes, if one
I
chance,
think I do have a question. Someone has a question for me.
yes.
Okay. So the healthcare side, as I stated, I'm always adding on pieces to the puzzle. I'm creating wealth with everything that I do. So when I started the transitional housing, a lot of my referrals had medical problems. They had things going on where they needed medical services at home. So in the house. So now I'm getting the referrals and I'm able to provide, it's called personal care services. So it's in home health care. So where we have a nurse that go out and basically make sure they're taking their medications properly. So that was another stream of income. It just, that piece to the puzzle just went right into what I was already doing. So now, of course, if I have the healthcare side, now I'm able to build insurance companies. So I'm able to do that. And that is, that took us to another bracket. Let's just put it like that. That took us, the healthcare side definitely took us to another bracket. Once that door opened, we just started getting contracts all over. So all over the state with providing those services. And actually, when COVID came, it actually helped us because most people wanted to stay in their homes for their health care. So we were able to send nurses out, personal care workers to go out to help them, and they were able to stay at home. So that was another stream of income. Any more questions?
Thank you so much, Claudia, for your enlightening speech. So I think, yeah, so people got the answers. So thank you so much for being a part of this WYN conferences as a speaker. So we are so honored that with your beautiful presentation, with your inspiring presentation. So let's move on to the next speaker.
Okay. Thank you.